Welcome everybody to the World Center Racing at Daytona International Speedway for the running of the Road and Plate Palm Rack Golf Series as we continue Season 8. And what a fantastic season it has been thus far. That's right, we are at Daytona International Speedway tonight, and I am looking forward to this one. It should be a fun show. I'm Joshua Coppernell, and I am joined by Adam Kuhn. Adam, how you doing?
Doing well, Josh. I'm excited for yet another road and plate race. Like you mentioned, we're Center Racing here tonight, so that means we got a plate race on our hands. This should be fun with these 87 cars ripping around this 2.5 mile high banked super speedway.
Yeah, it should be a whole lot of fun, and I'm telling you, I'm glad I'm not out there driving these things, but I kind of wish I was out there driving these things. These cars, they are such a handful. They are so different than what we're used to seeing in today's time, but you know they are still so fun to watch, and I mean, I love watching these guys race anyway. But this should be a fantastic show here tonight. As qualifying, it's still going on. Just a little over 3 minutes left in qualifying here tonight before we set the starting grid and start the sprint race. Currently, Ryan Campbell is the fastest qualifier. A 45.698 for the number 18, Ryan Campbell. And Ryan Campbell actually collected his first feature win last week. Uh, yeah, I was kind of second guessing myself, but yes, that is correct. Ryan Campbell with his first feature win last week at Fuji. The week prior, finishing runner up at Suzuka after a great run, but Aaron Smith kind of spoiling the party there on that one. Um, but the 3 weeks in a row in Japan are over. And so, yeah, that leaves us here at Daytona.
Yeah, we kept mentioning last Thursday night Campbell trying to get that win after he had a great run 2 weeks prior, or excuse me, a week prior from that at Suzuka being so close.
Yeah, and it was cool seeing him get it done, uh, for sure. Still holding the top spot. Let's go ahead and take a look at our schedule, remaining schedule. And of course, it is Daytona tonight. Then we go to Mid Ohio next week on March 5th. Talladega is after that. The track that is a little bit longer, a little bit wider, and more banking than here at Daytona. We learned that one last week, didn't we? And then Adelaide to finish out the season. And of course, that track we'd have to go overseas for into where, Adam?
I don't know. I think you should be telling this to us.
In Australia. So, a lot of things to look forward to, or a lot of races to look forward to as we continue on with the season. We do have the bracket challenge starting tonight, and let me tell you, some genius running production forgot to get the graphic ready, but can easily make that happen.
Oh, my bad.
But that, yeah, we'll blame Adam to definitely its running production tonight. But yeah, no, so I can easily get that to happen. But that starts tonight. It is a whole lot of drivers going for $50 iRacing gift card when the bracket challenge ends at the conclusion of Adelaide. Qualifying is over, and it is going to be Ryan Campbell getting the pole position. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup. And as mentioned, Ryan Campbell starting in first. Laura Wiseman starts second. Third place, Daniel Foss. Mark the Watchman will start in fourth. Fifth, Matt Slosher. Great run last week for him. Sixth place is going to be Tom Wendt. Seventh, Sam Stoner. Dustin Bally going to start in the 8th position. Sean Campbell will start 9th. And Chuck Labano starting in the 10th position. And 11th, it's going to be Jay Bast. Dan Ott will start 12th. Sean Johnson will start 13th. Tony Morano in 14th. 15th, Benson Weaver. Aaron Bray will start 16th. Robert Brope 17th. Andrew White in 18th. Jimmy Moore 19th. Steve Vest 20th. And Joseph Klein will start 21st. So that is the starting lineup. See if I can get the and it is being difficult. We'll worry about that later. Cars are rolling, and as there are some technical difficulties, we're not going to roll with the picks to win right now. We will get that in a bit. The field, though, they're working their way down the back straightaway. It is going to be 16 laps here in the sprint race. Ryan Campbell looking to go back to back. Laura Wiseman up there as well. Laura really, really awesome on these plate tracks or super speedways. A lot of great drivers in the field tonight as they are coming off turn number 4. The pace car going to make its way to the safety of pit road here momentarily. There it goes. Ryan Campbell, Laura Wiseman. They're the front row inside the restart zone. Green flags out. We're underway at Daytona. This driver's trying to get into line on the bottom, leaving the top without a hole. A lot of drivers, some of them trying to work together. Laura Wiseman getting a push from, that was a great camera angle, from that 39 of Mark the Watchman. Dustin Bally, he's third in line on that outside line. It's going to be Ryan Campbell leading lap number 1. Campbell coming up just a little bit. But how about Wiseman and Watchman? They are clear. They both jump down in front of Campbell. Daniel Foss giving a shove to the back of Campbell. Now only 3 cars to the outside line. Not really sure that they can get any momentum. Everybody kind of moving around, but that outside line is led by Dustin Bally, followed by Daniel Ott, and I believe that's Tony Morano. Yes, that is. They're third in line. Daniel Foss moves up into that outside line in front of Bally. But it is pretty much single file. Is that Robert Gropst? Yes, that is moving to the outside. And actually, Aaron Bray goes up there as well. This outside line, though, it just does not have the number. Stoner looking like he wanted to move up. A little bit of contact with Stoner. And Tom went. Slosher, he gets into line after jumping out. And, well, this has been pretty crazy. Single file, but still a lot of drivers trying to push. Here goes Matt Slosher once again. And gonna peek. Well, get right back down into line.
A lot of drivers fanning out wide there off of turn 4, Josh. Continuing to do it as they enter turn 1 here, just trying to widen the racetrack here.
I think a lot of it has to do with the handling too. It's, you know, these do not drive like the cars today do at all. We saw it at Talladega when we visited there earlier in the year. These cars, I mean, my telemetry was saying Matt Slosher was going 204 there off of turn 4. If this is the next gen, you're going 190 coming off of turn 4. If you're lucky. So everybody has got single filed out. And I'm kind of surprised to see this, Adam. This is, you know, we talk about how these races always have a sprint race and then the feature. And this is only the sprint race. There's not a lot of time. Is that Jay Bass? Yeah, that was Jay Bass.
Force below the yellow line there off of turn 4. I'm not sure who was to his outside there. Was it Daniel Ott? Either way, they made that situation figured out. We got a car on the wall there off of turn 2 in the back.
It's Robert Brooks, and actually Daniel Foss was in the wall in turns 1 and 2 that last time by, so he's dropping a ton of positions. Was in P4, now Foss is all the way back in 11th.
ducked in line right behind Dustin Bally, who really was trying to make that outside lane work, like you mentioned, Josh. And every time they got a little momentum, one car would fall out and it would just completely ruin it. Speaking of the outside line, Sammy Stoner looking to the outside of Slosher had an opening to duck back in, but that was quickly filled.
Tom went up there as well. This guy's getting back in the line. Slosher's
Looks like
still
it was
kind of.
Tony Morano that got that position. Sorry, Josh.
That's all right. Slosher's still kind of flirting with that outside line. Oh,
Ooh,
hard of the wall. That's is that Went? That is Went. He was sixth. He's
looks like he
stacking
got
the
a couple
bottom.
times.
Contact! How have they not wrecked? I saw a fender fly off of some car. Look at Jimmy Moore. He's down under the apron and around is going to go Campbell. Hard
Oh
into
no!
Andrew White. Oh my gosh, Robert Brobst involved.
You called it, Josh. It was aggressive moves here from Jimmy Moore through the tri-oval after they all got stacked up from Tom Went. There goes the fender flying off from the one car.
Just heavy
Aaron Gray
contact.
just didn't have enough time to check up there on the 54, Josh.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate for all drivers involved there. My goodness. Oh my goodness. And that puts us under our first caution in the sprint race. They're coming back to 5 laps to go at the line, and I assume they're going to take the one to green. Drivers do not have to pit, and drivers are not going to pit. Some of them are, though. And they're not getting the one to green. I was a lap early. But, looks like it's the first one down pit road.
Looks like you're 10 cars.
Yeah, it's kind of a split decision here. Seven drivers pit that are still on the lead lap. The other three, which would equal the 10, being Sean Campbell, Andrew White, and Robert Brobst, the three that were just involved in that accident. So that leaves us with 11 drivers that stayed out. So it's, I mean, a split decision. And, I don't really know if this is any other car. I'd say stay out. Tires don't really mean much. They do matter more at super speedways than what they used to, but still, you're at 5 to go. It's going to be 3 to go when you take the green, so I wouldn't really worry about tires. But here with the 87 cars, they matter more. I'm just not sure if you can make your way forward enough. in 3 laps.
Well, with a restart with 3 laps, you might look like Superman here on.
This is true. Um, I don't know. We're gonna find out what the better call is here. I think it's going to be very chaotic. Look for the lights on the pace car to go out this time by, and they are. So we're 1 to green. It is going to be Daniel Ott. First one out there with anything, and his box time was 11.1. So I think 2-tire call for him. So Tom Wendt, I would say, is the first one who is on 4 fresh tires, and he's starting in 14th position. So the field's coming down the back straightaway. Double file. Andrew White, the only one still in pit road. Brobst and Campbell, both 2 laps down. And everybody else on the lead lap. Laura Wiseman and Mark Watchman, the front row, followed by Campbell and Slosher in row 2. Stoner, Labano in row 3. Row 4 is going to be Murano and Bast. Then Molly and Foss in row 5. Pace car going to make its way to the safety of pit road. 3 laps to go here in the sprint race. Wiseman is inside the restart zone. Green flag is back out. We're underway once again at Daytona. Nobody is there with Mark, the Watchman. The outside line kind of getting there. No, Slosher jumps back down. So this gets 3-4 cars clear of that outside line, with Wiseman leading ahead of Campbell and Labano. Slosher is now clear. Stoner trying to get clear as well. Can that outside line have any momentum as they're coming off turn number 4 to take 2 laps to go here in this sprint race? Laura Wiseman in great position, leading. Still no pressure from that outside line, but who's going to make a move? Does Campbell make a move? Does Labano step out? It's actually going to be Samuel Stoner stepping out. He gets back in the line, actually. Slosher into the wall. He's ahead of Mark Watchman. He's back down off of the wall. Slosher gonna see if he can make something happen. It's actually Stoner that steps out of line as the white flag is out, as they're already down into turn number 1. Stoner with the oh, there's Big Wreck behind. It's Aaron Bray who's hard to the wall. We're gonna stay green. 3 wide behind. Laura Wiseman still holding on to the top spot. Chuck Labano is in second. Does Chuck Labano have anything for Laura Wiseman? They're coming through the tri-oval. 3 wide. Down on the apron is Dustin Bali, but it's Laura Wiseman who's going to win the sprint race here at Daytona. Great, great job by Laura Wiseman to win the sprint race. Always a threat at these super speedways. And with that being said, before we get into our interview, Palm Rat Golf delivers classic styles and a modern fit that allow you to move seamlessly from the office to the course to hanging with friends and family. Visit palmratgolf.com today to browse their collection of fine golf apparel, including polos, pullovers, pants, and more. That is palmratgolf.com. Let's see if we can get a word with our sprint race winner. Hey, Laura Wiseman, sprint race winner. How about
Hey! Had to make that car awfully wide at the end.
that?
Finally got one.
Yeah, it was a single file race, which kind of surprised me a little bit, but I'm sure you were fine with that out there seeing
Oh yeah, it
a single file train behind you. So some challenges there at the end. You said you had to make the car wide, but did you learn anything that could help you in the future?
was. Handling matters a lot more than a lot of people think here. So take that for what it's worth.
All right.
But I was glad to be out front. I didn't want to lose any positions, and well, now I'm gonna have to see how I can make it through the field this time.
And I'm glad you said that.
Go ahead.
What is the game plan? I mean, obviously you're going to be in 10th. It's going to be a longer race. Just staying out of trouble, or are you going to try to get up to the front as quickly as possible?
I'll try to stay out of trouble as much as I can. Going to take every opportunity to get up to the front, though. Just try to be smart, yet a little bit aggressive at the same time. And hopefully I'm there at the end. We'll see.
All right, sponsor shout outs. Who gets it done for you?
Panda Pink, Tom Wendt. I know I'm not running him this season, but I still got to thank him for all the livery work he's done for me. Everyone, J-Bass Blast, just everybody who puts on a show for this series, Road and Plate. I really love it, and I'm in my wheelhouse right now.
All right. Well, congrats on the sprint race win, and good luck to you in the future. Maybe we'll talk to you again.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
That was Laura Wiseman, the sprint race winner. And we are... Yeah, timer's up. We're getting ready for the feature. So, we've seen the sprint race. I don't know quite what to expect in the feature event, if it's going to be a lot like what we just saw. But I'm going to ask it. Adam, who is your pick to win tonight?
I'm going to go with someone who was kind of my dark horse even before we saw that sprint race, before we saw any of the qualifying results. I'm going to go with Chuck Labano. I think it's going to take a veteran, a savvy driver to get through the end of this race with all the different tire management, the car management, the track. Everything's going to have to come into play tonight.
I like that pick. I was not expecting it. I like that pick. I'm going to go with another driver who has a 3-digit number, and I'm going to go with Matt Slosher. He's running up front there in the sprint race. Actually finished in 9th position to finish out the sprint race. So going to be starting on the outside pole here for the feature. Slosher is one that you never can count out. He's always there when it matters. And oh yeah, like I said, starting second place is going to help out a lot with the track position. So, the top 10, of course, get inverted. And so your starting order is going to look like Dan Ott with Matt Slosher on the front row. Mark Watchman will start third. Sam Stoner in fourth. Sean Johnson fifth. Daniel Foss sixth. Dustin Bally seventh. Chuck Labano eighth. Tony Morano ninth. And Laura Wiseman will start 10th. 11th on back to 21st is the order that they finished. Joseph Klein, Benson Weaver, Jimmy Moore will start 13th. Jay Bast in 14th. Steve Vest 15th. Aaron Bray 16th. Tom Wentz 17th. Ryan Campbell 18th. Robert Bropes 19th. Sean Campbell 20th. And Andrew White will start 21st here tonight. The feature event, it is 32 laps long. So, double the amount that we just saw. Field is working its way through turns 3 and 4. We're getting ready to see these guys go 32 laps here at Daytona for the feature event. The green flag's waving. We're back underway in the feature here at Daytona. Daniel Ott got a great start there. Outside line still struggling. And just about everybody trying to figure out a way down to the bottom line. Driver still on the top line. Matt Slosher. Saw him go really wide there entering 3. Slosher looking to get momentum to take over the race lead. Dan Ott leads lap number 1 though. Mark Watchman keeping it close to the back of Ott. Slosher has nobody there behind him. Not directly behind him, that is. Daniel Foss trying to get up there with help from Chuck Labano. Laura Wiseman also on the outside line. Wiseman, the 4th car on that outside line. Actually going to make it the 3rd car on that outside line as Wiseman was able to get around Labano. Labano having some issues. Robert Brobst sticking with the outside line. They're just disconnected, though. Nobody is really around, and I say that, and Bali pulls to the outside line. Oh, contact between Ott and Watchman, I assume. Ott just got so squirrely and down on the apron. That just stacked up the bottom, and here comes Slosher. Just like that with that bobble. Bali all over the back of that number 400 machine of Matt Slosher. Trying to push. Watchman pushing Ott through 1 and 2. Not wanting the pressure of Slosher to get there on that outside line and to clear them. But outside, though, it's a lot better than it was. All thanks to that bobble last time through 3 and 4. Somebody in the back having issues. I believe that was Aaron Bray. He kept it straight, though. That was Aaron Bray, indeed. So these guys, a little bit more aggressive here early on in the feature event, and kind of makes me laugh as the sprint race seemed more like a race that wouldn't be as calm as the feature event, yet it so far has been much calmer than the feature event. Dustin Bali pressure, he's gonna get spun! He's still sideways. More drivers sideways. Jimmy Moore around. And I noticed that 84 of Laura Wiseman was sliding sideways. And I don't see a whole lot of damage on that 84. That might be a good thing. These drivers do have a fast repair if they need it. You do not want to need it, however. Back and take a look at the replay. Looks like Bali moved up a little bit too high and maybe came down. I can't tell if he came down or if Daniel Foss might have come up a little bit. I think our best bet was to see from the blimp camera. I think Bali might move down a little bit. Watch this out of Laura Wiseman. Incredible job. How about, I believe that was Robert Brobst. Just barely getting through. See what happened with Jimmy Moore. I think a lot of his was reacting to everything in front of him. No, he got help. He definitely got help. I believe that's from Tom Wendt. Everybody's stacking in front. I'm going to assume Tom Wendt really couldn't see. So that is the reason for caution trouble at pit road. Andrew White. Oh my goodness, they were 3 wide. Andrew White got on the brakes. Dustin Bally. Nowhere to go but through Andrew White. Andrew White eventually getting into his box for service. So a lot of drivers came down pit road. Looks like eight drivers stayed out. 9 drivers stayed out. The top 9, Ott through Vest. All staying out there. Everybody else, 4 tires? I believe 4 tire calls for everybody else. Matt Slosher going to be the first one on those 4 fresh tires. So what a race this has already been. Lights on the pace car are off. Steve Vest came down pit road. So everybody is still going to be on the lead lap. Dustin Bally trying to catch up to the field for the restart. But it's going to be 23 to go when we go back green. It's going to be Daniel Ott, Mark the Watchman on the front row, followed by Stoner and Johnson, Morano and Klein. Pace car is into the safety up pit road. Stan Ott is inside the restart zone. Green flag's waving. We're back underway at Daytona. A great jump out of Ott. That allows Mark Watchman to jump into line in second place, and they still have 3 or 4 car lengths ahead of Stoner.
That entire front row just launched together, Josh. Left rest, the few left hanging. Might have been too big of a jump because here comes Sam Stoner with a huge run, towing off the pack off of turn 2.
He's there side by side with Ott as Johnson is coming through. Stoner gonna get clear. He jumps down into line, then jumps back up.
He was not clear, almost got stuck in the middle. Just barely came back up in front of Johnson.
Ott's gonna lead that lap. And I'm surprised he didn't get put through the sucker hole there right in the middle. That was close.
He was almost clear. I think he was clear momentarily, but Watchman just got a huge run, pushed the daylights out of Ott at the end of the back straightaway to get back just barely to the inside of Stoner. See it. If Watchman was able to do the same at the end of the back straightaway this time, it looked like he was yet again close to the back of the 29. Outside lane continuing to lose cars like we saw in the sprint race, Josh, not keeping that momentum up there for what these guys need at the front of the pack.
Yeah, I think this is where things shift. We saw that outside line being more aggressive early on in this feature event, but now, I mean, you just mentioned it. It's losing cars. It's exactly what I was expecting to see early on in the feature, but we didn't, and here comes Watchman to the outside of Ott. Watchman is not quite clear. He tried, but has to pull back
Thought about
up.
it.
I think he waited too long. I think he was clear and then waited too long and Ott had the run. And now it's going to be Murano pushing Ott. Watchman is going to be pushed by Stoner, and these guys are racing exactly as they have been this entire feature. 5 cars on that outside line, all stacked together. And who's that little bit in the back? That's Laura Wiseman. It's almost an incident there for Robert Probst. He has backed out of it. Well, now the outside line, it's just down to... Well, they're starting to catch each other again, but they got disorganized there for a moment.
Still don't have the strength in numbers, but it's looking better than it did 2 or 3 laps ago. And like you said, they are getting closer together. Having all the cars closer together at the front of the field here. As you mentioned, Wiseman on pit road there on the 1 to green, had to catch up on the back straightaway before we took the restart. Already back in the top 10 there with this big run on the outside.
Laura Wiseman has said this is my bread and butter. And it indeed is. I'm looking forward to watching Wiseman climb back up through the field.
One car tail of the field caught the wall. Wasn't quite sure who that was. One of the last cars running in the outside lane at the time. So we stay side by side at the front of the field for the lead. Ott and the Watchman been in this lockstep since 39 went to the outside lane about 3 laps ago, Josh.
I'm surprised to see this outside line as strong as it is. 5 cars out there, they're really not connected. Like I think that they should be, and it might just be these cars. I mean, I know it's not typical bump drafting like you see today, but I'm still surprised by the momentum that they're able to hold. Not being together, and as little cars that are out there, how they're making it work. Around moving a little bit around the back of Dan Ott. Down, 16 to go. Keep in mind, some of these drivers do have to pit.
What we start to get weary of, Josh, when we start to see these cars pushing, reminds me of what we saw last week at Atlanta and what we saw at all the real-life races there. Start to push in the center of the corner, having to go wide. Looked like it was Tony Murano there pushing wide through the center of 1 and 2.
Oh my goodness.
Wide again off of 4.
I think those tires are really, really fading on that 323 of Murano. I'm actually glad you kind of referenced Atlanta. I don't know if I would have thought of that, but you're exactly right. just kind of the way these cars are handling, it does remind me of what we saw at Atlanta. This Watchman is clear.
Oh
Watchman
no!
pulls
Big
down.
one.
They're wrecking behind. Rubber
Morano.
ropes around Morano. The entire field.
Morano left the opening there just a slight bit, and Joseph Klein took it, and Morano just kept coming down. Push wide right there on entry.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, how was that not a bigger crash?
Insane. Oh,
A lot of close calls throughout the entire field. Wow.
was that Campbell?
Sure looked like it. Right behind the initial contact. And then they start piling up behind him, next to him, in front of him still.
I think it was Sean Campbell that I saw that got really, really close.
Both of them with close calls
Watch
in this.
this.
I saw
Oh
this
my
too. Wow.
goodness.
But how about Ryan Gamble completely around all of it there and didn't get a part of it at all?
Oh. I have no idea. We need to watch for Ryan Campbell's on board too. Hi. Have you ever?
I don't think I ever, like, the way they just all piled up in every direction around him, almost wrecked out of pit lane.
So, Mark is known as the Watchman. I think Ryan Campbell needs to be known as the Wheelman. I mean, that was insane. And we have a new race leader, by the way. It's Mr. J Bass Blast, the only car that did not come down pit road. He has been down pit road. It was at the last caution, and that was 13 laps ago. His tires, 13 laps old. There's 13 laps to go at this point in time, and I just said 13 a whole lot there. But I don't know if I like that for Jay Bast. He feels confident and comfortable up there. I'm going to assume. But I'm not sure how I would feel about that.
He might be fine out front. The issue is, if he gets put right into a position where he's second in line or third in line, then it might be very hairy.
And I completely agree with you. If he's out front, I think the clean air is going to help him tremendously. And in that case, it's a genius move. I still don't know about that call because, like you said, get second, third, just get into dirty air at all. He's going to be struggling for grip. Looks like Slosher was in his box for 3.2 seconds, so, you know, same boat for Slosher. Klein, and Labano took 2 tires. So everybody else from Watchman on down, 4 tires. I take back what I said about Bast. Some of these guys on their different strategies. First car on 4 fresh tires going to be Watchman in 6th place. There is still going to be 11 laps to go when we go back green, but I don't know if Bass can just stay out front. I think he's going to be okay.
Also might be banking on having a few caution flags flying while he's still out in front.
That is true too. Pace car is going to come into the safety of pit road. J Bass, Matt Slosher on the front row. 11 laps to go at the line inside the restart zone. Green flags out. We're back underway here at Daytona. And a great jump there from Bast, allowing Slosher to get down into line as well.
And Joseph Klein did not get going there at all on the inside lane.
And everybody fighting to get to the inside line. Look at this. Big gap. About 3 car lengths. What does Slosher do? He's going to pull to the outside line. Klein goes with him. Watchman also to the outside line. Slosher, your new race leader. What can Klein do?
Slosher made that pretty easy with that huge toe he had. Klein looking to the outside. Slosher wasn't quick enough to protect that. It's going to be almost dead even at the start-finish line. Klein with the advantage. Watchman, you mentioned on the 4 fresh tires pushing him. He's now second on the outside, second in the race.
Klein wanted to pull down in front of Slosher. Tried to too late. Had to come back up in front of Watchman. Watchman now going to be forced to push Klein a little bit longer. How about Sean Johnson as well there up third on the outside line?
Been right in the hunt all night long, it seems like.
Klein gets clear. He pulls down to the inside. Here comes Watchman and Johnson. How about Stoner and Ryan Campbell? 9 to go. Klein does not have Slosher close enough to really help him as watch this run on the back straightaway for Watchman and Johnson. Watchman gets clear. He pulls down to the inside.
He had a huge lead there, though. What lane does he protect?
Top. Here comes Klein on that bottom.
Gonna easily let 14.
Klein and Watchman side by side for the race lead once again. Johnson just closer to Watchman than Slosher is to Klein. Now both are pushing those front two. Johnson able to get back to Watchman very quickly through 4. And big shove on the front straightaway. Might have gotten Watchman a little bit too upset there as Klein still able to stay side by side for the race lead with 7 laps to go. Robert ropes in the wall.
Ropes big time.
Oh, contact!
Whoa!
Campbell holds on to it.
How did he save that?
That was incredible. That outside line especially up front. It's only got the 3 cars. Well, the inside line really doesn't have any help either. Here comes Jay Bast, trying to get back to the back bumper of Slosher. Lobano's there. Wiseman
Yeah,
is
that moment from...
there.
Sorry, Josh. The moment from Campbell really spread out the back half of the top 10 and rest of the pack. It's really just those top 6 on each other now. The rest of the field gonna get tight here in turn 3. I thought we were about to have an incident there with Jimmy Moore and Tony Morano.
I thought we were going to as well. 5 to go here at Daytona. Still a close, tight battle between Watchman and Klein for the race lead.
Good run here on the bottom for Klein. It just doesn't have enough of a push.
Slosher trying. He's there. Slosher going to push. Number 14 of Klein. Just advantage to that outside line, really.
Yeah, they can really keep their momentum up, Josh. It seems like they don't need to be as close together to really keep the line going compared to that bottom.
4 more times around.
I was saying that, though, that top line is losing numbers fast like we've seen all race long. I think it's down to just 4 cars now, 5.
Indeed it is, and Klein gets a huge shove. They're wrecking in the back.
Oh. We're going to stay green from it. One car just right in the wall. Wiseman with a drift in contact with Campbell.
Loses a wheel.
That's going to bring out a yellow. Oh, yeah, tire. 2 of them go flying in turns 3 and 4.
That was
I think Wiseman lost a wheel as well.
Oh, yeah, the left front. It was not a fine time to leave me loose wheel.
Something happens in the back right there. This is going to draw the caution. Morano and Wiseman. Well, let's look at the other incident, Josh says.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I want to go back to this one. Campbell and White.
Oh, no, both Campbells in the same lap.
Oh, man.
Poor Ryan Campbell's tire is going to go further than he will.
So let's see what happens. Morano, I think, just comes up a little bit too much. Gets into the side of Wiseman. Oh my goodness. Poor Wiseman driving it around on 3 tires. And just like that, it's fixed.
An entire lap.
Yeah. That's why you save your fast repair. I've never been a fan of them, but when they are at my disposal, and you only have one to use, you always want to use it as late as possible, and if you have to use it, that is. If you don't have to use it, that's even better. But If you have to use it as late as possible and with 3 laps to go, I feel like now is the best time. So we are going to have overtime. Extra innings here tonight at Daytona. Lights on the pace car are out. So we're going to go back green. It'll be 2 to go. Klein, your race leader. Followed by Slosher. Labano, Bast, and the top 5. Who can play spoiler? Both of our picks are the first 2 cars on outside line, Adam.
Yeah, it seemed like they were both staying low before these late race cautions have come out. Maybe playing to their strategy with those pit stops late here in the going.
Going to be interesting to see what they can do. Can Klein get a big jump here?
Yeah, that's really going to be what I'm watching here. We've seen him struggle on the restarts all night tonight, no matter what lane it's been for that 14 car. But this is the first time he's had control of the start.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, with this, if he waits till the green, he waits till the green. But he's going to be able to go whenever he wants. I think that could help him. But you don't want to get too much of a lead. Otherwise, we've already seen what could happen with Jay Bast losing the lead. But the pace car is in. It's go time. 2 laps to go. Green flag is waving. We're back underway at Daytona.
Outside really bobbled on that start, Josh.
Yeah, it did.
It's going to completely dissipate almost. It looked like it was Chuck Labano with an issue on the start.
And Labano, the only one kind of stuck out there. Some drivers trying now. Slosher going to be the one to make the move. Here comes Matt Slosher with help from, I believe, that's Sean Johnson. 3 cars hooked up together on the outside of the line.
Bottom line got separated there. Jay Bass, we mentioned, really old tires on that 53, not able to keep up with the 14 entering turn 3. Here comes Jimmy Moore.
White flag is out. Slosher is clear with the race lead. He jumps down in front of Klein. Sean Johnson trying to have some kind of momentum with help from Dan Ott, but I just don't think there's enough cars out there to help. Slosher in great position.
And Klein pushed Slosher clear of the 32.
He does, maybe. He does. Slosher is clear.
Is Klein clear? He is. He doesn't have any momentum, though.
Klein, what does he do? He tries to peak high. He's going high. It's going to be side by side at the line. Checkered flag. It is Matt Slosher taking the win. And I finally picked one right. I did pick him, right?
Yeah. Joseph Klein had the right strategy there. He just didn't have enough of a run off of turn 4. Didn't have the momentum through that final corner with Jay Bass tucked up not quite behind him the way he probably would have liked. He still got a lot closer than I anticipated, though, in the tryover for that photo finish. 17, 17 tenths of a second, or hundredths of a second, I should say.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Klein got as close as he did there at the finish. And I think, if this was Talladega, like I tried hyping it up to be last week, I think Klein would have won this race instead. Oh, hard into the wall is Slosher. He's getting checkers and wreckers, but
He and everyone else from what it looked like on the back straight.
yeah. What a race. What a finish. And with that being said, before we even think about talking to our top 3, just want to remind you that Palm Rack Golf delivers classic styles and modern fit that allow you to move seamlessly from the office to the course to hanging with friends and family. Visit palmrackgolf.com today to browse their collection of fine golf apparel, including polos, pullovers, pants, and more. That is palmrackgolf.com. So we are going to talk to our top 3. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and talk to Jay Best. Jay Best, it was a 3rd place finish for you. And gonna be honest, I was surprised that you stayed out when everybody else came down pit road. And I thought
Big brain strats, bro.
I thought it was gonna hurt you a little bit more than it actually did. How was it feeling out there?
Oh, I was real scared. I really thought I was doing something, and then I realized I was much like Lewis Hamilton in Hungary 2021. I did race alone, and but then we got into maybe lap 2 of that restart, and the tires were fine. I knew that going for the early stop would put me on a weird offset. But I kind of lost the faith, and then I regained it pretty quickly. And then once I realized I had the tires underneath me, I felt pretty confident to kind of make a lot of moves, and just you can run the bottom until the hole kind of opens, because these cars are so hard to control, and once someone gets a little bit out of shape, it kind of throws the whole pack off a little bit. So yeah. It's probably not great, but you can definitely capitalize in those moments, and with these cars being so hard to drive, it makes it that much more rewarding when you get it right.
Was the car driving any differently being behind any other cars there with the older tires than what they were up front?
I mean, I feel like everybody, well, I was doing a decent job of saving tire for better or worse, because there were times that I definitely was leaving a bigger gap up front than I wanted, but it definitely paid off in the end, saving those tires from the early stop. So a little of both. It definitely gets super tight when you're close to someone, but you can kind of manage, and everybody in the road and plate crew is so great. Once everybody's got the skill to be able to avoid someone having a little bit of issue like that. So shout out to the whole field as well. But yeah, it was really great to be able to hang on to it and finish 3rd.
A sponsor shout outs. Who gets it done for you?
We'll throw the shout out to Itty Bit Better. Check out ittybitbetter.com, as well as EV Part Picker, Homebrew Auto, and Formosa EV, as well as TW3 liveries. Mr. Tom Wendt out there. I know he doesn't like to admit it, but he's definitely painted at least 3/4 of this field. And you know what? We all look fantastic doing it. There's going to be some epic screenshots of TW3 cars, maybe 7 cars deep in under the Daytona lights. It's going to be great. But yeah, as well as Dustin Bally for organizing everything, and you guys at JCTV for throwing on this awesome broadcast. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, and congrats on the podium finish. We'll see you next week at is it Mid Ohio? I believe it is.
Catch you next week.
That was Jay Bast, our third place finisher. Adam, I believe you have Joseph Klein.
Hey, Joseph, this is the guys in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Well, right there in the thick of it, in the overtime restart, what was it like there, leading the field to green there? What was the plan? And ultimately, what was it off of turn number 4 like, trying to get to that checkered flag a little bit first?
To not get too far out ahead because I knew a run was coming and I knew that nobody was going to lift for it and they were going to take them regardless. So Matt got cleared up in front of me and he did a good job at managing the lanes there. So coming off of 4, I figured there may be a shot, and unfortunately Daytona, the start finishes, right there in the middle. I think Dago would have had him, but we take him.
Before we got to that string of yellows toward the end of the race, what was it like handling out there for you? Saw a lot of crazy moves, a lot of erratic driving, trying to save the cars and not create big pileups until we eventually saw that be inevitable.
Yeah, in the sprint race, I couldn't do anything in the back. Like, it was atrocious, and nobody wanted to make a top lane and actually race. So I figured just try and get as high up as I could in the sprint to inevitably put me further up in the feature. And then once I saw everybody pit and realized how much fuel there was, I was like, well, I think we can stretch it. Hopefully they wreck one more time. I can save enough fuel to not have to pit and lose track position, because it's like ultra important in these cars at super speedways to not lose track position. So once I was up there, I knew I wasn't pitting, and I just wanted to take any run I could to get out ahead. But Matt did a good job kind of defending coming to the line.
What's the goal moving to Mid Ohio? Do you have any expectations set next week?
I don't even know where we're racing next week. I'm not even gonna lie.
Is it Mid Ohio, Josh? I'm just following off of your lead.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Mid Ohio.
Yes, it is.
I think I've won in an LMP3 there, but that is not an 87 stock car. So we'll see how that goes.
All right, sponsor shout-outs. Who gets it done to get this P2 finish here tonight in Daytona?
I'll give a shout out to you guys up in the booth. My dogs, my Race CPI, Chevrolet Monte Carlo, and everybody in the league.
Congrats again on the finish tonight, Joseph. Good luck next week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was our runner-up, Joseph Klein, in the 14 car, and Josh is making his way into victory lane.
Yeah, I've stood by it in real life. Now I get to come to it in the virtual world, and Matt Slosher is there as the race winner. How about that, Matt? You were aggressive, a lot more than everybody else was, which was working perfectly for you, and it kind of surprised me that nobody else was trying what you were doing, really. I mean, just how was it out there for you?
Hey, yeah, it was it was a lot of fun. You had to kind of like balance out the draft and building runs with the handling. Obviously, these cars are not quite as planted in the turns as like a modern NASCAR. So it was tough to kind of like you had to maybe like crack the throttle a little bit and manage your corner entry to make sure you keep it on the bottom and try to get speed off the turns and to get runs on people. And the bottom was like very preferred. I would say that the top would work sometimes, but if you didn't make it work quickly, you could get shuffled back pretty quick, and you'd heat up your tires up there. But yeah, it was a ton of fun. These guys are really fun to race with, and fortunately, I was able to get to the front and hold off some charges there at the end from those guys, just barely.
It was pretty fun to watch you up front, and also I just want to say, my track record when I pick drivers to win races is not very good. You were my pick to win tonight, and so you helped me break out of my slump. But it was really fun to watch you out there just making moves. Even in the sprint race, you were running up front, and then fell back to ninth place, across the line. Um, Overall, just I kind of asked Jay Bast this same question, and it was about tires. You were, I believe, on a little bit older tires than everybody else was. Do you think track position really helped with the older tires?
Yeah, so I took tires really early. I think it was like lap 7 or 8, and I wanted to take fuel because I wasn't sure how that would play out with having enough fuel or not. I think it ended up not being an issue, but I took tires anyway as well because I thought maybe it could be helpful, and so I didn't have like old tires, but at the end I definitely had older tires than I think most of the people around me. Um, I think I think it I think it was a little bit of a struggle in the turns at times towards the end for me. I feel like I had a little bit of a tough time keeping it where I wanted it to be, but I think the tires were just okay enough to not offset too much from the others. I think if it was like a day race and a hot track, I probably would have been a lot more trouble. But um, being in clean air always helps too. And I was trying to in the turns dip my left front a little bit lower than the leading car to get a little bit of extra air on the nose to get some more downforce and help the tires. I assume that's part of the model of these cars. It usually is, but um, yeah, it was a little tricky with older tires, but being at the front with the track position helped tremendously. So yeah, it ended up being okay. Oh, and thanks for the pick. Thank you for picking me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for finally getting me one. um, Sponsors, shout outs. Who gets it done for you?
Yeah, thanks to Dustin for hosting the league, and thank you to Palm Rack Golf for sponsoring. Shout out to everybody that was racing tonight. That was a lot of fun. A lot of really good, clean racing. These cars are so cool to race with, and some of the best painters I've ever raced with. I mean, the paint schemes tonight and always in this league are just absolute fire. So really fun to see those out on track. And so shout out to everyone for putting in the effort, and thank you to you and Adam in the booth and JCTV. And yeah, that's I think that's it for me.
All right. Congrats on the win, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thank you.
That was race winner Matt Slosher. And it dawned on me after I started interviews, I never actually did go through the unofficial race results. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. And of course, it is Matt Slosher with the race win. Joseph Klein finishing second. Jay Bast in third. Sean Johnson fourth. Jimmy Moore fifth. Dan Ott finishes in sixth. Seventh place is Chuck Labano, Benson Weaver in eighth, Mark Watchman in ninth, and Tom Wendt finishes in 10th. Tony Morano finishes in 11th. Aaron Bray finishes 12th. Dustin Bally 13th. Sam Stoner in 14th. Laura Wiseman 15th. Steve Vest 16th. Robert Robe 17th. Sean Campbell in 18th. Daniel Foss 19th. Ryan Campbell in 20th. And 21st is Andrew White. So, a couple of things. And I mentioned that there is a $50 iRacing gift card for the Bracket Challenge winner. There was also, I did not mention this earlier, but any upsets would be given a $10 cash prize, and the three upsets in round one were Chuck Labano over Jay Bast, Aaron Bray over Tony Morano, and Tom Wendt over Ryan Campbell. The one seed is down. So, going into Mid Ohio, your matchups are Tom Wendt versus Laura Wiseman, Chuck Labano, and Evan Hubchak. Evan Hubchak did not race tonight, neither did Dylan Butler, so I'm going to assume they gave it to Evan Hubchak as the higher seed. Jamie Moore and Daniel Ott, and Aaron Bray and Joseph Klein. Those are your matchups for the Road Plate tournament bracket, which is the Undercut and Overheard podcast. And I have no idea anything about that, not been given any information or where you can even find it at. I'll do some homework and get that information for you guys next week when we head to Mid Ohio. I'll also actually have the graphic ready, so we'll have that. But Adam, what a race we saw tonight! This was a great Daytona race. These cars, they are still something that I'm trying to figure out myself. But these guys, they did an incredible job. Made Daytona, this Daytona race, a whole lot of fun. And it was Matt Slosher taking the race win.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to call. I really did not expect it to play out the way it did, especially when we had all the strategies playing out at the beginning of the race. And then classic Daytona fashion, most of it went out the window when we go into overtime. It was, of course, a dramatic close finish, so, and the way that last lap was going, I kind of wasn't expecting that either, so that was a lot of fun to see. This series can never predict what's going to happen.
No, you really can't. And I don't know. I literally could not describe how amazing it is to see these guys do what they do on both road courses and plate races every single week. It's just fantastic, and these are a great group of drivers, and even the new guys that come in. They all race respectfully, cleanly, and we just get this amazing product every single week. It is unpredictable. You just don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, I think Daytona, it was a fun one, that's for sure. And I'm looking forward to Mid Ohio. It's been a long time since either one of us have called a race at Mid Ohio, and I don't know. I think. Do you remember? Was that a truck race? It had to have been.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, yeah, we called a truck race there, so I don't even think that I can use any notes from that race as to how this one is going to go. Completely different car. I don't know. I want to see how these 87s are going to handle on Mid Ohio. That should be just pure cinema to watch these guys do that. It always is. It always is. These guys never disappoint. And so tune in next week to JCTV right here for that one at Mid Ohio. I think that's going to do it from us here tonight, though. This was a fun one, and I always am looking forward to Road Plate on Thursday nights. So, big shout out to the drivers, the fans, and the admins. Without you guys, this would not be possible. And thanks to you, Adam, for everything you do, helping me out on Thursday nights. And on behalf of Adam Kuhn and the rest of the outstanding crew at JCTV, I'm Joshua Coppernell. Joshua Coppernell signing off, saying so long, stay safe, and have a great rest of your night. Take care.